It's almost Thanksgiving. Everybody's gathering for the feast, and that includes my writers. You know, they write hundreds of jokes every day just to get the 10 or 12 we use in the monologue, and honestly, a lot of those jokes just aren't good. Sometimes I think they throw in a few stinkers on purpose just to fill the page, meet the assignment. But just because the pumpkin pie is cooling on the sill, that doesn't mean we can tolerate laziness, which means it's time for another surprise inspection. Here's how this works. I'm going to read some real jokes that were really submitted by my real writers that we pay real money. Some are dumb, some are offensive, some are just insane. Most importantly, my writers don't know we're doing this, and because they don't watch the show, they'll never know. So let's get started. Honda has issued a recall for more than 400,000 sedans due to an issue with wheel nuts. So you'd have to be wheel nuts to keep driving yours. That's Matt wrote that joke. We will be showing the pictures of the writers to shame them and also, you know, as a cautionary device. So if you ever see someone who looks like this coming, you know, cross the street. Authorities in New Mexico, by the way, we also start with the ones we think will go the best. Authorities in New Mexico recently caught a pig after it was found running on a highway. They gave him a porking ticket. That's Brian. Brian sits next to Matt, and I imagine the conversation went like this. Just came up with porking ticket, and he was like, sorry, buddy, I got wheel nuts. The talent agency UTA recently signed the makers of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese as part of their plan to make America great again. Oh no, we broke you with the first two. That was Matt again. Now, Matt and Brian, you know, they have a lot of fun. A couple of cool dads. There's a third character in the old writer's room, and his name is Mike Scollins, and childless man. Dark-hearted, black-souled. Not worrying about letting anyone down. And his joke is next. An Oregon woman recently rescued a shark that was stranded on a beach by grabbing its tail and dragging it into the ocean. She'll be missed. Couple of things to know about Scollins, couple fun facts. He's from Massachusetts, and he wears a tank top to work. Betty Crocker has launched its new Super Moist collection, which features sweatshirts, hats, and totes. But guys, if she sees you wearing it, she won't be. Bad news, Brian took a run at this story, too. Betty Crocker has launched a new collection of apparel and accessories branded with their trademark Super Moist. In response, Duncan Hines announced their new Swamp Ass collection. Taco Bell is set this week to launch its new fan-style menu. It's called that because you'll need a fan to get rid of the smells you make after eating it. Matt wrote that, the smell, I take such offense with the smells you make. It's not the meal you eat, it's the smells you make along the way. Oh, boy. When you see a story like this in the news, you get so worried that Scollins will see it. Because you know it's not going to be good for anyone. According to a new DNA analysis, Adolf Hitler might have had a micropenis. Really? It looked normal to me. Oh, no! So the premise of his joke, just to make it clear, is I, in reading the setup of that joke, would then admit to the audience that I'd seen it and it looked normal to me. and then I would realize my error. And he thought I'd see that and go, yeah, no, we should do that one. Scollins knew I wouldn't do that one, so he tried a second effort that I also wouldn't do. According to new DNA analysis, Adolf Hitler might have had a micropenis and not, as he claimed, 9 inches. Just want to hold a little bit longer so everybody can get a screen grab of this. I think they know what Hitler looks like. We don't have to put him in the key. All right, you know what? Let's clear the palate with a more fun story, a lighter one. Today was National Hug a Musician Day, which is a lot better than what you used to have to do. You're doing worse than Hitler. That was you guys know who wrote that joke? I don't have to tell you. Three choices. I'm going to read the joke. I want you all to mentally guess who wrote it. And finally, today was National Pay Back Your Parents Day. Way ahead of you, said Eric and Lyle. This has been Surprise Inspection.